What I am going to be diving into is how missing this one critical thing leaves your life feeling deeply and despairingly empty. I've been working as a therapist for almost 10 years now. And one of the this really common pattern that I've seen is that as people, we have this assumption that everyone else's life is incredible, that other people know things that we don't. Other people have skills, competencies, capabilities, awarenesses, understandings that we don't, and that we are somehow the only one missing something. And so we're wildly misunderstanding and misrepresenting other people's lives and other people's experiences of life. And I see this time and time again. I mean, clients will come to me and they'll make these wild accusations that this person knows more than I do. This person is happier than I am. This person is better than me because they're doing all of these things that I'm not, and therefore they must know something I don't. And there's a couple of biases that are happening with that train of thought. There's a lot of personalization that it must be something I'm doing, it must be about me. There's magnification. So you're kind of putting this person on a spotlight that you're comparing to, and you're blowing up these micro details that you're seeing that you don't even know if they're real, because people are really good at faking, and people are really good at making it seem as though their life is actually better than it is. And I have one client in particular. If anyone on the outside in were to see him, you'd think he was the man. You'd think that he had it all. He's very good looking. I think he's tall. I haven't seen him in person, but he looks like he's about 6 feet tall. Very attractive, very fit, makes 6 figures at a job. He's the life of the party. And what nobody knows is that he's deeply miserable. His life feels wildly empty. He's insanely insecure. He feels wildly unlovable, and like his life is kind of empty and meaningless. And the thing that he's missing, the thing that so many people are missing, and why it is so easy to compare to other people, look back at ourselves, and think that our life is empty, is because you're not living a life of meaning. The truth is, the majority of people, their life has no meaning. And what I mean by that is most people are living their life just going through the motions on the day-to-day. They're doing whatever they can to get by. They're taking life 1 minute at a time, just trying to get through the day because life just feels unbearable. It feels overwhelming. It feels intolerable. And there's really nothing to actually look forward to. Meaning has kind of been fabricated in our lives. We get this false sense of meaning by these like social timeline benchmarks that we're all unconsciously and non-consensually bought into. So graduate school, go to college, get a degree, get a house, get married, so on and so forth, have kids, and then that's it. And then your life is just supposed to be full and fulfilled at that point in some way, even though none of it was conscious. Most people just end up in relationships. Most people just end up in jobs. Most people are just walking through life kind of as like a zombie mode, just getting from one thing to the next. And it's not based on who they actually are. It's not based on values. It's not based on meaning, like something that is so deeply meaningful to them because they know who they are and they're making choices based on that. This client was going through something extremely similar and is going through something extremely similar. All of the meaning in his life, it's all based on get as much pleasure as I can and minimize as much pain as I possibly can. How are you supposed to have a meaningful life if that's the case? If you can't sit with yourself for a minute without needing to go scroll on your phone, without needing some sort of distraction, some sort of escape. If you're watching this, you're probably going through something like that too. Your life isn't being designed, it's being settled for. You're just going through the motions. One thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next vacation, the next weekend, the next holiday, the next excuse to try to make yourself feel good about yourself. And believe me, I get it. I've done it too. Before I started this work, before I started and helped start Evolve Ventures, the organization that I helped co-start, my life was so empty. My life was purposeless and meaningless. I was aimlessly wandering from one BS scenario to the next because I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I didn't know, and it hindered me so significantly. It led me to making poor choices, to be around misguided and misaligned people. It almost cost me my life in many instances and in many circumstances because I was running. I wasn't living, I was running. I was running from my feelings. I was running from myself. I was running from pain. I wasn't actually living. And so many of us are living our lives that way. And very few people, and this client included, and that this video is based on that conversation that I had with him. Very few people are living lives that they actually are in love with. Not that they don't struggle, because they do, right? But very few people are living lives that they're actually like, I wouldn't trade this. Do I want other things? Yeah, sure. Do I want more? Yeah, sure. But I wouldn't trade it. Like I wouldn't want someone else's life because mine feels so right for me. Which means that one of many things have to happen. And if this is you too, that's okay. Today is when you can start. Whenever you're watching this, most of us harp on, oh my God, well, it took me forever. And it took me 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years to get here. And it's over. Your brain grows until the day you die. Neuroplasticity is a thing. We can build new neurons and we can build new neural pathways, and there's all of these really amazing things. You can grow and change up until the day you die, so long as you have a healthy functioning brain, which most people do. Which means that it's never too late. It's never too late. What makes it too late is the limiting beliefs that you have that nothing is possible for you. So what do? How do you build a life that actually feels like it's on purpose? How do you live a life where it actually feels like you matter? Your life matters. The things you're doing matter. They're important. They give you a sense of fulfillment and joy and connection rather than disconnection, numbing and scrolling and dissociating, which is how the majority of the world lives. What do? Step number one, you have to identify and understand, what do you value? For me, my top 3 values are fitness, family, and growth. And if you look at my life and if you look at the behaviors that I live my life by, everything I do and don't do is predicated on that. Now, family looks different for me than other people does. Fitness for me might look different than other people. Growth for me looks different than it does for other people, but I know what my outline is. Growth, doing something, doing things every single day that are making me better. I sincerely want to reach my fullest potential as a human being. I want to get to the end of my life and know I did everything I could with everything I had. That's what growth means to me. It might look different for you, and that's okay. It's supposed to, because we're two different people. Family. Family for me are the people who come into my life that deeply mean something to me, that matter to me. It's not just blood, it's chosen family, it's partners and eventually children, and my dog that I have at present, and friends, and whoever else. Family for me is the people that give me that semblance of belonging, where I feel so seen and so loved and so cared for because of who I am, not despite it, or not because blood makes us that way. And then fitness. That's number 3 for me. It's not in that order, but that is the third. Fitness for me is making sure that I have the healthiest body possible for as long as humanly possible. So I want to live past 100. And based on the way that I am living my life, barring any severe, unforeseeable events, that's likely to happen. I really value being fit and being physically fit. So I exercise multiple times a week. I'm constantly trying to focus on what I'm eating and what I put in my body and my sleep and my mental health and all of these other things. My life and the way that I live my life is based on those 3 things, and that gives me immense meaning and immense purpose. So number 1, identify your values. What matters to you? What are the actions? So values are beliefs in action, right? So fitness is actionable. Growth is actionable. Family for me is actionable. What are the values? Not what you want it to be, but what actually is. You might want to value growth, but you don't. You value friendship. You value travel. You value significance. And so you find a way that is meaningful for you to get that to happen. So number 1, what are your values? Number 2, who's the person that you want to be? Like, what is the life that you sincerely want to have, that if you were to live by your values, this is the life that you could have that would be so like perfect for you. Like if you looked back on your life, you would say, wow, there's nothing that I didn't do. The things that deeply, deeply matter to me. I might have not gotten to go on that trip or go visit that place or do that thing. But like, did I do the biggest things? Did I do the important things? Did I limit myself? Did I get in my own way? Most people do. Most people end up at the end of their life with massive regrets. Regret is a good thing if you utilize regret to change, but most people feel regret when it's way too late and there's nothing they can do about it at the end of their life. So, what is a life that would be worth living for you? And how do your values guide that? And what are you going to start doing today to make sure that you are living a life that is deeply on purpose and meaningful, and not by reaction, but by design. What are your values? And then how do you want to live a life based on that? So for me, I'm en route. I'm not at the place in my life where I'm exactly where I want to be, but my life is insanely intentional. The way I live my life, what time I get up, what time I go to bed, what I track and don't track, what I do and don't do, who I allow into my life and who I don't, it's all on purpose. And it's guiding me to better and better and better and better. My life today is better than it was a year ago. My life a year ago is better than it was the year before that. I'm insanely grateful for my life. Doesn't mean it's perfect. Doesn't mean that I want it to end here, but I'm grateful for the here, because this is what's going to get me to that next step, and the step after that, and the step after that. I live my life based on my values. And I know the life that I want, and my values are going to guarantee that I get there. And then number 3, what are the limiting beliefs that are getting in the way? What are the things that you believe about yourself, others, in the world that are going to practically guarantee that you never get to experience a meaningful life for you? Those need to get nipped in the bud. ASAP Rocky. You need to make sure that you are working with coaches and guides and mentors, or reading the books, or doing the things that are going to ensure that your limiting beliefs aren't stopping you from living based on your values and designing a life that is meaningful for you. My client that I was referring to cannot sit with himself for more than a minute because he gets so distressed. His distress tolerance is so low and he feels so emotionally dysregulated, he cannot sit with himself. So we're practicing him sitting by himself without distractions for minutes at a time. Over time, it's going to start making massive improvements in his life. It already has. He was able to identify a bunch of values and goals that he wants for himself that now give his life a sense of meaning. It's like, oh, I have something to look forward to. I have something like real to be excited about, not just the next trip or the next bar I'm going to go to, but something that actually matters to me because I give a shit about it, not because some social marker tells me that that's what the next step is supposed to be based on horse shit and nonsense. What do you value? What would a life on your terms actually look like? And what do you need to navigate that's getting in the way? If you do those 3 things, and I know easier said than done. That's why, like I said, working with a therapist is so unbelievably important. And here at Evolve, we have coaches and therapists that absolutely can help you do that, whether it's me or my mission partner, Amelia. There's so many avenues here at Evolve that you can dip your toe into. So if you're interested in any of that, send me a DM and we'll get you started. But try to start doing it for you. Here's the actionable item that I want all of you to walk away from with this today. After you watch this video, I want you to sit down and I want you to take out a journal. Or you can do it on your computer if you like typing better. But a journal is better because our brain works differently when we're writing and it seeps in information better than when you're typing. So if possible, get out a journal. And I want you to take time to sit in silence and really think about these questions. What deeply matters to me? If I wasn't afraid to say it, if I didn't feel guilty, if I didn't feel like I had to justify this to anybody, what do I value? What matters to me? Pick 3. And then what are 1 to 3 things that I can start doing this week that are based on those values that I can feel really good about myself doing? And for number 3, don't be shocked when the limiting beliefs start to come up, because because that's just the way that our brain works. When you do something new, all of the limiting beliefs start to come up. That's okay. Don't run away from it. Acknowledge that it's going to happen. And then see how you do. Take the step, take the leap, try doing that thing. And drop a comment down below. Let me know how it went. What did you decide? How'd it go? What'd you learn about yourself? What were you able to uncover because you stopped running away and you actually let yourself acknowledge what do you want and what matters to you? If you do this consistently, if you do this consciously, if you do this repetitively, your life will be so meaningful. Your life will feel so full because you're doing things that matter to you. You're surrounding yourself with people who care, and you're living your life intentionally and on purpose. And your life will never feel empty again. You might feel lonely at times. You might feel sad. You're going to experience the entire range of emotions because you're supposed to, because we're human. But your life in total isn't going to feel empty anymore. Because today you made the choice to live life with meaning and on purpose.